away. Here's what happened. You can see it on this incredible video, and it is horrific to see. The plane was arriving from China when it bounced twice, veered left, then burst into flames. The pilot and co-pilot, as we have reported, were both Americans, both of them killed. Investigators are already trying to determine whether weather was a condition and in this crash. Strong winds, 30 to 50 miles per hour, were reported in the area at the time of that crash. We turn now to our meteorologist, Jackie Jarris. Jackie, weather, winds in Tokyo at the airport during that time?
Yeah, 30 to 50. That's what we were seeing. Some occasional gusts throughout the area. Skies overall were clear. On Google Earth, though, you'll see a bunch of cloudiness east of Japan, and there was a big, strong cold front that had moved on through. So there you can see this is where all the precipitation would be, but back here we have the strong, gusty winds. And as we take a look at a graph here, this is the wind speed, and all you want to notice is right here. Look at that jump that goes right up there. That's where we were recording those stronger wind gusts, and that was right around the time of the crash. So wind potentially could have been a factor or a contributing factor.
Now to get some expert advice from Mary Schiavo. She's a former Inspector General with the Federal Transportation Department. Today, she works for the private law firm that represents plane crash victims in lawsuits against airlines. She joins us now by phone from Charleston, South Carolina. I'm sure you've been able to pay attention to the news, especially over to check into that crash as well. A Fedex cargo plane crashing. It looks like the winds. When you look at the video, what is your observation of what happened?
Well, it does look like the winds, but these pilots, FedEx pilots, are extremely good, well-trained. It almost looks to me like perhaps he was trying to take off again. Pilots don't use a porpoise like that. It has sort of a porpoise movement. It almost looks as though he was trying to get up again and got caught with the crosswind. And if the wind is very strong, if you're trying to take off and you don't have a lot of power, you can get, it's kind of unusual for a heavy plane like that to get blown terribly on a crosswind, but if it was gusting high and you had a bad landing coming in, it's possible the wind could have done that.
And Ms. Schiavo, the last time we saw this was Sioux City, Iowa. Do you remember any video like this, capturing something on tape, was Sioux City, Iowa? Do you remember that crash?
Oh, yes, indeed I do, and know some of the people who survived. And in that case, of course, a very different situation because they had lost hydraulics.
But this video will no doubt help investigators in this.
Absolutely. This video will be very, very useful to help them figure out what happened, as will the black boxes on that FedEx plane. Sadly, there won't be any flight data recorder on the Montana plane.
Mary Schiavo is a former Inspector General with the Federal Transportation Department. Today she works for a private law firm that represents plane crash victims in lawsuits against airlines. We appreciate you joining us late on a Sunday night.